Hello fellow Jerrycans. Pokémon Legends Arceus if you're British and Pokémon Legends Arceus if you're American is finally out. I've played the game for about 7 hours, so I thought I would make a quick first impressions video. So just a heads up, this is not a full review. This is just my basic thoughts after playing the game for a while because people keep asking my thoughts on it for now. So this is just my first impressions, not a complete review. And my mind may change when I finish the stupid game, so don't let your panties get wet. Anyways, this video game is getting great reviews from both critics and fans, and apparently even my audience seems to enjoy this game. A lot of Poketubers on YouTube say it's the best Pokemon game in a while, possibly the best Pokemon game since Black and White 2. And I'm not enjoying this game. I don't think it's quite good. It's pretty boring. It's not for me. It's just another half-baked game with good ideas rushed out by Game Freak that needed more time of development. But first thing first before I complain. Okay though, this game's not a complete train wreck or painful to play like that piece of shit Pokemon Foolish Diamond and Rotting Pearl, cause there are some positives, and it does feel like Game Freak put some damn effort and thinking into the game. First of all, I like the lore and setting of the game. I said in the Black and White review that a Pokemon game not set in a modern contemporary setting would be interesting, and this game is just that. All the character designs are great, and seeing ancestors of classic Pokemon characters is pretty fun. Also, the fact that the story is Lucas and Dawn from the original Sinnoh games going back into ancient times is really interesting, and I didn't expect that. But one strange thing is that Lucas or Dawn don't seem that phased seeing people that look exactly like people in their lives. I mean, if I was Lucas, I would just shoot that Cyrus looking lady in the head so Cyrus doesn't get born. She's just baby Hitler in my eyes. I also like how they established Pokemon are terrifying creatures back in the old days. Very different from the cute Pokemon creatures we know. Lady Cyrus even implies Pokemon kills people in the world, so that's kind of badass and awesome. Now let's talk about the gameplay. First of all, I was worried about the controls of the game because this is Game Freak's first attempt at real-time action, but I think the controls are fluent enough. The Pokemon aim and soaring feels natural, and there are gyro controls which are appreciated. The best part about the game is of course the Pokemon in the wild and the catching mechanic, cause it feels like 95% of the game's budget and effort went into it. First of all, I was worried Pokemon would just walk or float around like zombies in Galar's wild areas, but Pokemon actually feel like real life animals here with different unique behaviors. Second, the process of catching Pokemon is in real time, and I like how some Pokemon you need speed, some Pokemon you need to be stealthy, some Pokemon you need to battle because they're aggressive. It's not just no-brain required looking for wild Pokemon like in the previous games. Third, I guess the new Pokédex system is nice. Because catching many Pokemon is easy now, I like how they gave each Pokemon small quests and goals you could achieve. I guess this gives the player more incentive to fuck around the world, battle and catch Pokemon, than just mindless collecting. Now, when it comes to catching mechanic, I have some mixed feelings about it. You see, when you're throwing the ball to catch Pokemon or you're fighting one of those frenzied Pokemon, the action is real time, not turn-based. However, when you throw out your Pokemon, the game goes into traditional Pokemon battle style where everyone freezes and waits around while you pick a move. Personally, I find this really distracting. Every time the game switches between real-time action and turn-based, I don't know. Maybe I just need to get used to it and this may be just a me thing, but it really breaks my immersion. Anyways, that's all the positives I have with the game. And it's not a damn coincidence I only talk about the lore and the catching mechanic, cause everything else in this game is kinda pathetic. First of all, this game is directed by the director of Ultra Shit and Ultra Piss, Kazumasa Iwao, and boy I could tell from the first 5 hours of this game, cause I was seriously getting Alola First Island PTSD flashbacks from the amount of tutorials in this game. I know 95% of the Pokemon fandom has never played a game that requires more than just fucking A and B button, but still, these goddamn tutorials treat you like a fucking baby. Make tutorials at least skippable, or not have boring dialogue cutscenes that go on forever. Speaking of cutscenes, again, I get Gen 7 flashbacks due to the amount of boring cutscenes in the game. Cutscenes in a game aren't bad if used well, but the cutscenes in this game just feel like trying to pad out the running time or something. If you're playing this game, take a shot every time the game forces you to go back to that Team Galactic building to progress with the game's story when it's completely unnecessary. One cutscene even had me start at the building and just teleport me to the beach, then I had to walk back to the building to progress. Like, what the fuck? Let's also talk about Hub Town because they seriously were lazy, rushed, and cut corners with this damn place. For those who never noticed it, I'm gonna ruin this town for you. Have you ever noticed that not a single goddamn NPC moves in this town? No one have walking animation cycles or have idle animations. Everyone just stands around like fucking weeping angel statues. What the hell is this? This is creepy. It makes everyone feel like signposts, not characters, and it makes the town look dead. I swear, characters only have walking animations only during cutscenes in this game, and I haven't seen a single person walk outside of cutscenes. It's like they put all effort into animating the Pokemon in the wild, and the humans in the town were a complete afterthought. Speaking of the NPCs, let's talk about the side quests, because I hate these things. Almost all of them are boring fetch quests that end with bring me a certain item or Pokemon. The only fun side quest I discovered at this point is just throwing ball minigame. I hope to God this game has better side quests down the line. Let's talk about my biggest problem with this game currently, and it's there's not much to explore and to discover in this game other than catching Pokemon. It seems in this game there's only one hub town. You know, discovering towns, settlements in open environment area games is kind of fun. There's no gym challenges like in the previous Pokemon game. It just feels like the game lets the players loose into a big empty open environment that's just sprinkled with wild Pokemon, and I don't like that. The wild areas in this game are boring to explore too. Ugh. I try my best to talk about this game without mentioning Breath of the Wild, but I have to. If you think this game is not trying to rip off, homage, or take influence from Breath of the Wild, you're fucking blind or stupid. Anyways, in Breath of the Wild, exploring Hyrule is fun because the world is littered with puzzle shrines, Korok seeds, boss battles, treasure boxes, and more, right? Well, in this game, the only thing to discover is Pokemon, boss Pokemon called Alpha Pokemon, some random items littering the floor, and that's it. I really think they should have had at least treasure chests around the world or something to discover other than Pokemon. At this point, I don't see any incentive for the player to explore this world, other than find new Pokemon species. If you're fine with that and find it fun, good for you. I think it could be fun, but it gets really redundant after like an hour. I was worried based on the trailers that the world will have nothing to explore and find other than catch and battle Pokemon, and I'm afraid my fears are getting confirmed. Anyway, that's my thoughts on Legends Arceus. Even though the lore and setting of the game is really interesting and the catching mechanic is intricate, the game's world feels empty, the town is a dreadful mess, the side quests are boring, and the whole game just gets redundant after like an hour, and it's a chore to play. It actually feels grindy to catch and complete the Pokédex, which I really do not like. I think they should have at least put a year or two of more development time into the game by making more towns, interesting side quests, and more reason to fucking explore the map. But they did it cause money, and the game just feels like an experimental tech demo like the previous experimental tech demos in the series. It just feels like another incomplete mess of a Pokemon game, just like the previous incomplete mess of a Pokemon game. People say it's a step in the right direction, and I agree, but does it make the game fun? No, not to me. And sure, I've only played the game for 7 hours, so the game could pick up as I progress. Maybe the game gets better towards the end, so maybe it'll change my mind. But the game better fucking pull some miracles to do so, and 7 hours has already been a long time to convince someone that a game is quote-unquote fun. In the end, this game feels like it's trying to be big, but it feels shallow as a puddle at the moment.